his training camps were the stuff of legend. I mean, he would spar 100 rounds a week sometimes, which is just insane.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock the world.
1,000%.
Joe Rogan recently weighed in on Terence Crawford's intense preparation for his upcoming clash with Canelo Alvarez. He praised Crawford's ability to switch stances seamlessly and adapt mid-fight, skills Rogan believes could neutralize some of Canelo's natural power and ring experience. Still, Rogan emphasized the size factor. He pointed out that while Crawford's technique is elite, the real question is whether he can absorb Canelo's heavy shots without being overwhelmed. For Rogan, the danger isn't Crawford's skill level. It's whether his frame can handle the kind of punishment Canelo dishes out.
Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's going to fight Canelo.
Oh, man.
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, like, I believe all the shit he be talking.
Crawford? Yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit.
They tried to say that, like, Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch it up.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back when the topic of Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez came up. Speaking with veteran commentator Jim Lampley on his podcast, Rogan made it clear he's siding with Crawford. He explained that Crawford's ability to fight fluidly from both stances reminds him of legends like Marvin Hagler, and he sees him as the most complete switch hitter in the sport today. At the same time, Rogan acknowledged the elephant in the room, size, and power. While he believes Canelo has started to show signs of slowing down, Rogan stressed that Crawford will still have to navigate the danger of facing one of boxing's most physically punishing champions.
Which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Because how does Crawford compete with that size? Crawford is leapfrogging. He goes to super middleweight.
47 to 54 and now to 68.
And the Madrigal fight in 54 is a difficult fight.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock the world.
1,000%.
I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was young. He uses strength and conditioning. There's very few fighters that just train using skill, just train skills. Like George St. Pierre did that for a certain period of his career.
I wonder if there's anybody left in boxing who trains just using the gym skills. There were a lot of them when I was first involved in the sport who would never have touched a weight.
Right.
You know, they
they
subscribed totally to the notion that that was negative.
Right. And the worst case, I mean, they definitely did calisthenics, but that was it. It was just body weight exercises, you know, which brings us to Crawford, which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Fascinating. Because how does Crawford compete with that size? And, you know, we have to recognize, okay, well, when Canelo fought Floyd, it was 152 pounds, right? So he had dropped down, which was a struggle for him, which is why Floyd was so brilliant in getting him to go down to 152, because he knew he would be drained.
52 or 54?
Rogan doubled down with a word of warning for Crawford. Don't walk into a fight with Canelo carelessly. He emphasized that the size and power gap is very real, and Crawford has to respect it every second of the bout. Still, Rogan admitted he wouldn't miss it for the world, calling it as big as boxing gets right now. True to form, he even veered into one of his trademark digressions, bringing up cartel mule runners while unpacking the stakes of the matchup, blending his fight talk with the kind of cultural commentary that keeps his audience locked in.
When you look at the elite of the elite boxers, to a man, to every one of them, they're disciplined. and they stay focused. I'm so excited to see this fight with Canelo Alvarez because I think the Saudi Arabians have so much money. They're throwing so much money at boxing, and the guy who's the head of boxing over there wants to make that fight happen. I think Terence Crawford, forget about the 3-weight classes. I think he could beat Canelo.
I think he can too.
On his sit-down with Joe Rogan, Crawford opened up about the 2023 clash with Errol Spence Jr., making it clear that his dominance wasn't luck. Everything fans saw under the lights, he explained, was the product of endless drilling in camp. The message was simple. Sharp execution comes from relentless repetition. When the conversation shifted toward Canelo, Crawford didn't flinch. He acknowledged the size gap but brushed it off with confidence, stressing that bigger doesn't always mean stronger.
Actually, practicing it, that was something that when I had the cast on, I was like, man, I love the gym so much. I'm like, man, I'm not leaving the gym. Like, I'm going to practice with this left. And that's when I got the left stronger, because at first, when I go southpaw, it was only, my right. Then when my hand got messed up, I started working on the left, and it started getting stronger and stronger. And I started getting more accurate, because at first, just throw it just to be throwing it. And then, it just got to a point where my left was actually way stronger than my right.
Teddy Atlas is framing Canelo versus Crawford as the ultimate clash of contrasts. Raw size and power against speed, agility, and pure ring IQ. He points out that Canelo carries not just muscle, but the comfort of fighting in heavier divisions and the advantages that come with it. But Crawford, Atlas argues, is cut from a rare cloth. He likens the matchup to Manny Pacquiao's legendary upset over Oscar de la Hoya, a fight where skill and timing flipped the script on size. In his eyes, Crawford's instincts, versatility, and ability to adapt on the fly make him very, very special. Special enough to tilt the odds against one of boxing's most dominant champions.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
In camp for his super middleweight showdown with Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford has revealed a striking new physique. Once competing at 154 pounds, he's bulked up to around 185 in training, with some footage showing him close to cruiserweight size. Despite the added mass, Crawford's frame remains sharp and defined, a testament to his disciplined conditioning. Still, not everyone is sold. Strength coach Rob Ayosta cautions that such a rapid jump from 154 straight to 168 and beyond could tax Crawford's speed and endurance, leaving him vulnerable against Canelo's trademark power.
On size, Crawford coming in the ring, and Crawford doing everything he can to match Canelo's power, possibly size, and to, at a minimum, try to just maintain what speed he already possesses, because when you go up in weight, sometimes you compromise speed. So we know Crawford and his team are doing everything they can to, at a minimum, maintain his speed. But the question came up, okay, since Crawford is looking to come in the ring fast, powerful, we know he's already brilliant. Shit, what if Canelo comes in lighter? I'm like, lighter? Yeah, what happens if Canelo says, you know what, I'm not gonna try to come and just outweigh him by 20 pounds on fight night, because I realize I'm in there with somebody who's very agile and who's probably gonna be faster than me, and although I have timing, he has timing too, so I can't afford to be 2 or 3 steps behind Terence Crawford in my speed.
Boxing coach Greg Hackett isn't buying into the idea of Terence Crawford knocking out Canelo Alvarez. In his view, Canelo is simply too durable in today's 12-round era to be stopped. Hackett explains that Crawford doesn't possess the kind of freakish power or the willingness to stand in the pocket and trade bombs that it would take to drop Canelo. Instead, he sees Bud's path to victory as a technical showcase, using skill and strategy rather than brute force. Hackett even noted that in the old 15-round days, Crawford might have had enough time and stamina to wear Canelo down for a late stoppage, but not in this era. Meanwhile, the war of words is heating up. Canelo fired a jab outside the ring, saying, "Crawford will find out what happens when a good fighter moves up against a great fighter." Crawford didn't hesitate to clap back. "So that means you're just a good fighter, and Dimitri Bivol is the great one? Because every time you stepped up, you lost." A razor-sharp comeback that cut straight to the memory of Canelo's defeat against Bivol, fueling the fire as fight night draws closer.